Looking for the ultimate quick dinner? Then garlic shrimp pasta is where it's at. I'll show you how to nail perfectly cooked shrimp every time, make a garlicky butter sauce so good you'll want to drink it, and time it all like a pro. But don't get it twisted, because quick doesn't mean basic. This is a dish you need to make tonight. First, let's start with the shrimp. Sound good? Let's cook. I've got 2 pounds of fresh, unpeeled 16-20 shrimp, which means 16 to 20 make up 1 pound. However, any size shrimp will work for this recipe, as well as it being previously frozen and now thawed.
Shrimp and potatoes, shrimp burger.
Thank you, Benjamin Blue. Now, to devein these shrimp, I like to use one of these handy shrimp peelers. Just press the tip into the upper part of the shrimp and pull up to remove the sand vein or intestinal tract to break up the shell. Then pinch the legs and pull the shell around, exposing all the meat. You can also remove the tail, but I like the way it looks. And yeah, the vein you see on the bottom of the shrimp is just a nerve bundle that has zero flavor, so no need to remove it. Repeat everything until all the shrimp is prepped up. Now don't throw away the shells, because you should definitely make my shrimp bisque recipe. It's money. And for the peeled and deveined shrimp, give them a quick rinse in a colander under cold water so that the vein is completely gone. It tastes muddy, so yeah, ensure it's rinsed off. At this stage, I'm going to spread them out on some paper towels, and then I'm going to further pat them dry with more paper towels. This will help ensure they don't stick when I saute them. Once they're dry, just set them to the side on a plate. Now, almost time to start cooking, but first some really quick prep. I'm going to thinly slice up 4 garlic cloves. Okay, 1 more. Okay, 3 more. Yeah, I like garlic, don't judge me. Next, I have 1 peeled shallot, and I'm going to slice it in the same way as the garlic. Now for a little greenery, I'm going to roll up some fresh Italian flat leaf parsley, and then I'm going to finely mince it, and you should get about a 1/4 cup here. When it's done, just set it to the side. Now crushed red pepper flakes are pretty common in this, but let's swap that for a fresh Fresno pepper. It'll be more flavorful and look way better. I like to remove the pith and seeds and then very small dice it. But hey, if you want more heat, keep the pith and some seeds, up to you. The prep is done, but before we cook, we have to talk pasta. Now here is where you have some options. You can use bucatini, spaghetti, linguine, or you can even make fresh pasta if you have the time. And yes, for the record, I personally think fresh is better. It's got that perfect chew and has the ability to really absorb sauces, but it's not for every occasion. While each of these will work well, I tend to go the traditional route, so I'm going to go with spaghetti. And because it's dry, this is a good thing, because we can drop this first and in the meantime, make the sauce the shrimp so that everything's done at the same time. In a large pot of boiling salted water, let's drop our spaghetti and then let's start the clock. We've got roughly 8 minutes to make this pasta. I promise you, you've got this. Let's go to work. I'm going to be using a 5-quart sautéed pan, and then I'm pouring in enough olive oil just to coat the bottom. Flip the heat to medium and let it heat up for about 60 seconds, and then at this stage, I'm going to add the shrimp and spread it out around the pan as best I can, and then give it a quick season with salt and pepper. Now this shrimp is going to cook for a max of 90 seconds, that is it, and after about 30 seconds is when I enter stage left and begin to saute to move everything around to ensure it's cooking evenly and on all sides. Now it's totally cool if the shrimp gets a little sear on them, no problem. And once the shrimp are done, they'll be pink, firm, and they should be in a loose C shape like this. If it's a tight C, it's too late and they're overcooked. So be sure to pay attention to this part. It is so important to ensuring your shrimp are perfectly cooked. Also, good to account for carryover cooking here as well. Set them to the side, leaving as much of the oil and rendered shrimp juices in the pan as possible, and I'll explain why in 2 seconds. But first, the shrimp looks ridiculous and steamy. Okay, add another tablespoon or 2 of olive oil in the same pot over medium heat, and now we want to cook a few things in it, starting with the garlic, then the shallots, and finally the Fresno peppers. A quick season of coarse salt, and these are all going to sort of steam saute for about 60 to 90 seconds. Things may brown up a touch, but those shrimp flavors will start to infuse into everything else. Delicious. At this point, I'm going to squeeze in the juice of a half lemon to add some nice citrusy notes, as well as curb some of that heat from the Fresnos. Then, how about a little white wine to bring everything together? Pour in about a cup, and any dry white wine will work. Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Grigio, all are good here. and reduce it down over medium heat until there's about a half to 3/4 cup total liquid in the pan. Now this will probably take only 2 to 3 minutes, and at this stage, the smells in your kitchen are going to make you famous. Let's add 2 to 3 ladles of that hot pasta water right into our pan and then give it another season of coarse salt and freshly cracked pepper. And we've got about 2 minutes to concentrate these flavors down more before the pasta gets added, but first let's monte au beurre with a half stick or 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. This will just make the sauce in the pasta that much richer. Super easy. Swirl it around in the pan over low heat until it's incorporated into the sauce. You should definitely take a spoonful and try it at this stage. Now how about we go have a look over at our pasta? It's done. Perfect timing. Let's give it a strain and then add it right to our pan, and just one more thing. Now I completely understand that mixing cheese with seafood is sacrilegious in Italian cuisine, but come on now, you know Parmigiano Reggiano is just gonna make this that much better, so I'm gonna add it. Don't yell at me. Sprinkle in about 3/4 to 1 cup of finely grated Parmigiano, and using tongs or Chef Bro tweezers, quickly mix everything to emulsify the cheese into the pasta and the sauce. Beautiful. I like to coat the pasta first before we finish it with a few things. And fine, can't add cheese because you don't believe it belongs, I'd suggest you hit it with a half cup of heavy whipping cream. Now at this stage, let's add back in our shrimp and all those juices on the plate, and then add in most of the parsley, save a little for later. Now fold everything together until it's incorporated and give it one last final taste to see if it needs any more salt or pepper. Okay, we are just about ready to plate this up, but I want to make probably the most complimenting side dish of all time for this, an Italian tomato salad. Now you can use any tomatoes, beefsteaks, vine ripes, Romas, cherries, whatever's fresh, ripe, and you've got on hand. Feel free to thinly slice, quarter them, or even cut in half if they're small enough. Just make them easy to eat or easy to cut and eat. Then place them all on a plate and fan them out so they're all beautiful, and then I'm going to thinly slice about 1/4 of a red onion and add it right to the top of the tomatoes. Then thinly slice 1 garlic clove and add it to the top as well. Now for a complementing hint of green, siphon out a few fresh basil leaves and sprinkle it on along with 1 to 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. This is going to make this dish sing. Then drizzle on about 3 tablespoons of olive oil, coarse salt, and freshly cracked pepper, and finally some dry oregano. And it'll be hard for you not to destroy this immediately, it's that good. Easiest, best side dish ever. Okay, for the pasta plate up, a nice big nest of pasta using my bro tweezers and an offset ladle, and then plenty of shrimp and sauce on top. And for a bit more citrus, I'm going to zest on a bit of lemon, and to make you non-cheese on seafood curmudgeons even more upset, how about a little more Parmigiano Reggiano, and then last but not least, a punch of green with some minced parsley. And this to me looks like the dang perfect meal. Quick, easy, packed with flavor, and just a few ingredients. Perfect for those last minute meals. And hey, if it's hot outside and you're looking for another banger, my pasta alla limone is where it's at. Bright, rich, lemony. I've got an awesome video, and I'll see you over there. Bro, that is so good. Use the cheese.